An officer is recovering and a man is in custody after a shooting on the Auraria campus overnight. Thanks for joining us for 9 News at Noon. I'm Sam Shocker. The shooting started with a person who police say was breaking into a car. The two officers saw the break-in, and the man, now identified as 29-year-old Aaron Werner, saw them but took off. They found him later, and Auraria Campus Police say Werner fired shots, hitting one of their officers in the arm. No shots were fired in return, but Denver police helped Auraria officers finally get him into custody. The officer who was shot was treated in a nearby hospital and released this morning. We should learn more this afternoon about Saturday's deadly shooting involving an Aurora police officer. According to police, an 18-year-old man suspected of assaulting a woman shot at officers. One officer fired back, hitting the teen. He died later at a hospital. Aurora Police Chief Todd Chamberlain has a news conference scheduled at 3:30 p.m. to discuss the shooting. Also this morning, Aurora police are looking for the driver who hit and killed a person on a motorcycle overnight. It happened around 1 a.m. at I-225 and 6th Avenue. Investigators talked to witnesses who say the motorcyclist was speeding, likely racing a truck. They say the truck clipped the motorcycle, causing the deadly crash. The truck driver then took off. Police tell us they found the truck but haven't tracked down the driver. Well, it may be a late start for the snow, but it finally happened for the mountains. So this is the total at Loveland Ski Area just after midnight. As you can see here, the snow reached the 12-inch mark, and the snow was steadily falling at Copper Mountain this morning. Look at that, it's picturesque. This snow stake total was from 9:30 and it hit the 13-inch mark. And then let's take a look at Vail, my favorite. The snow just makes the town look even prettier. I don't know how that's possible, but it does. The resort's website says 7 inches have fallen in the last 24 hours. Yes. Well, here in Denver, take a look, still dry. Not a single snowflake yet. Joining me now is Keely Chalmers with our 9 News Weather Impact team. Keely, are we going to see any snow just as long as it's not on Halloween, I'm saying?
Right, we're not seeing snow today, but we are certainly seeing rain out there. It is wet raindrops, as you can see on our Skycam lens out over downtown Denver. So yes, snow up in the high country. It is just rain across the metro area, the I-25 corridor this noon hour. All of that will be pushing off to the east. We're going to see more sunshine this afternoon, and sunny skies continue as we head through the work week. We are actually starting to see some breaks in the clouds right now, but you can clearly see the raindrops on the lens of the camera. Let's take a look at the snow totals right now, because very impressive. 10 inches at Loveland, 9 at Copper Mountain, A Basin coming in at 8 inches when all was said and done. Breckenridge 7.5, Winter Park 7 inches. So that is great news. Always good to see the snow up there in the high country. Taking a look at our live radar, you can clearly see here's that storm system. You can see the rotation there, and we're just getting the moisture on the back side of that system as it gradually pushes off to the east. So again, rain showers in and around the metro area, all that pushing off to the east. A little bit of snow still in the foothills, but as we get those downsloping winds, that's going to dry out, and we are in store for a clearing afternoon with highs topping out right around 69 degrees. So that tops our weather headlines. Those winds, though, are going to pick up as that storm system moves out. We have high pressure moving in, and in between those, we have those tight pressure gradients, a change in the weather. So those winds are certainly going to pick up. And again, warm and dry for the rest of the week. We'll talk about just how warm it will get coming up in your complete forecast in just a bit.
Thank you so much, Keely. Well, we should find out later today if there will be more development around Ball Arena, so the Denver City Council is scheduled to take a vote this afternoon. The bill calls to change city code and allow taller buildings near the arena. The plan would add townhouses, apartments, along with open space and bike lanes. However, some council members are concerned about allowing bigger buildings to block the arena's view. According to our partners at the Denver Gazette, the last time city code was changed, just like this, was back in 1999 for the new Mile High Stadium. Well, people in Garfield County are pushing for access to affordable housing funds. They've asked county commissioners to opt in to Prop 123, which would unlock state money for projects. And just this morning, those commissioners gave their approval. People who live at the 3 Mile mobile home park would like to eventually buy the land themselves to make it community owned. Before they can do that, they have to fix some critical infrastructure problems. People believe funding from the state affordable housing fund, known as Prop 123, would be able to help them out. It was created to address housing affordability changes. Gabby Jimenez has lived in the park her entire life, and she's a substitute teacher in Glenwood Springs with plans to continue living and working as an educator in the community. She says securing this funding will help working class residents keep their homes in an area that has become increasingly expensive.
The county has done a lot to help it grow, but they haven't done a lot to help the people stay. As someone who's lived there for 20 years and has lived in this community and wants to continue to live in this community, it means a lot to me that they take care of those people versus trying to push for tourists or other people to come into the area.
And voters actually okayed Prop 123 in 2022, but Garfield County commissioners had to opt in to use that funding, which they did this morning. County officials will now need to apply to get that funding from the state before the end of the month. Well, the election just 2 weeks from tomorrow, and Vice President Harris and former President Trump are pulling out all the stops in critical battleground states. NBC's Alice Barr has the latest on the campaigning.
Just over 2 weeks to go until Election Day, the presidential nominees barnstorming key swing states. Vice President Harris celebrated her 60th birthday with 2 church visits in Georgia.
Our country is at a crossroads, and where we go from here is up to us, as Americans and as people of faith.
Kamala.
And a serenade from Stevie Wonder.
Happy birthday to you.
Former President Trump sending his birthday wishes from a Pennsylvania rally.
Happy birthday. And many more, and I mean it.
After attempting to troll the vice president by working the fry cooker at a McDonald's in suburban Philadelphia, renewing his claims without evidence that Vice President Harris lied about working at the fast food chain while in college.
She talked about the heat. It was so tough. She never worked at McDonald's.
The former president also stepping up profanity-laced attacks.
We can't stand you. You're a vice president. The worst.
Vice President Harris pushing back on MSNBC.
What you see in my opponent, a former president of the United States, really is, it demeans the office.
In the final stretch, she's zeroing in on Mr. Trump's mental state, casting him as unfit.
What time is it?
It's voting time!
And rallying supporters to the polls in Detroit, part of a tide of early voters already making their voices heard. In Washington, Alice Barr, NBC News.
Thank you so much. And just over 2 weeks to go until Election Day, the presidential nominees are touring key swing states. Vice President Harris celebrated her 60th birthday with 2 church visits in Georgia. And Vice President Kamala Harris, yes, also as well, we saw earlier, got that serenade from Stevie Wonder. All right. And also, too, make sure that you can go ahead and text us at VOTE to 303-871-1491, and we will give you everything that you need, the whole voter's guide. If you go ahead and text, once again, VOTE to 303-871-1491, you can go ahead and get that voter's guide. Really important stuff.